Success is 5% strategy. It's 95% mindset.
Imagine what you will be, and it will be so.
Your thoughts are magnetic.
What you feel, think, and believe
shapes reality.
I already felt like I had money back then, even though I didn't have money. I always felt like I was the champ, even though I wasn't the champ.
To paint a bright future for yourself, you have to be able to see it in your mind. You have to believe in it.
Your mind must create these things before anything else.
Like the mind is the most powerful thing in the world.
If I want to attract a lot of money, I got to see myself with a lot of money. I got to mentally accept I've already got it.
Science says, show me and I'll believe. Faith says, believe and I'll show you.
And I believe that you can speak things into existence. When you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you.
If it is written, so shall it be. If you don't have what you want in life, just check yourself. Is it written anywhere? Have you wrote it down? Have you claimed? Have you laid it into faith? Have you willed it into existence? Has it become a law? Did you write it down? If it ain't written down, what you want? That is a principle of success that all successful people know. We write it down.
If you can see it here, you can hold it here. If you can entertain the idea, you can cause it to move into form.
Confucius said one time, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right.
I have studied it every day for 55 years, and I think I'm just scratching the surface. Do yourself a favor and really begin to think.
Mark my words. Next year, a year from now today, I'm getting ready for my name to be called in New York at the draft to shake 𝐀𝐓𝐓𝐑𝐀𝐂𝐓's hand.
The 16th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Jared McCain, Duke University.
Your life is always moving in the direction of your dominant thoughts. What you think about most of the time is exactly what you are training your mind to create. If you focus on problems, you will attract more of them. If you focus on solutions, you will start seeing opportunities that were invisible before. Your mind doesn't care what you feed it. It simply accepts repetition as truth. And here's the key. The more often you think a thought, the easier it becomes to believe it.
Wow, so your brain doesn't really know the difference between, say that again?
Between something that happened in real life or something that you strongly visualize.
Wow, it's the same reason why when we watch a movie or something, we're able to get lost in it.
Yeah.
We're able to believe in it because wow, so you could create enough of a visualization for yourself if you really were to powerfully start to focus on it and do that and build that ability to visualize something that your brain at one point would have to think it's so true that the world would meet you and put it into your life.
I love the way you put that.
Wow.
You see, the most magnetic thing in this world is to rest fully in your own energy. When you stop trying to become and simply allow yourself to be, your frequency aligns with the universe itself. Because how you see yourself is how the universe experiences you.
You are creators.
Every human being is a creator.
As you think, so shall you be.
I believe we're creators, and I believe we create with every thought and every word.
How we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief.
You can almost create your entire world. Not almost, you actually can. Yes. You can.
But we can all do it, as we don't realize the power we have. If you can see it, you can do it.
Own who you are, because then your creative abilities will come forth.
That's what we are. We are creators. We are manifestors.
What do you want to do in your life? Where do you want to go? What do you want to make happen? What do you want to make happen for between now and the end of the year? Think about it for a moment. Don't think of why you can't. Doesn't matter how much money you've got. Doesn't matter how much help you've got. Build a vision of what you would like to accomplish between now and the end of the year. And then make a written description of that vision. Paint the picture with words. You can go either way with this. You can start writing the picture and it'll come on the screen of your mind. Or build a picture and then paint it with words. Vision. Vision is going to direct your life if you let it. Use it constructively. See what you want. Don't spend any time thinking of what you don't want. When you get a picture in here, make it big, make it beautiful. You'll be glad you did.
If you're worried about your income or your future, you're concentrating on the wrong end of the scale. Look at the other end. Concern yourself only with increasing your service, with becoming great where you are, and your income and your future will take care of themselves.
If your life is not what you want it to be, you can change it. As a matter of fact, you can do anything within reason that you desire to do if you embrace the principle of applied faith and keep it directed to the attainment of the things you want and off the things you do not want.
The words you speak are shaping the life you're living. Every time you describe yourself, your situation, or your future, your mind is listening. It takes your words as instructions and adjusts your focus, your confidence, and your decisions to match them. You see this in real life all the time. Two people face the same challenge. One says, "This always happens to me." The other says, "I'll find a way through this." One feels defeated before they start. The other looks for options. Same situation, very different outcome. Pay attention to what comes out of your mouth on a normal day. Not when you're motivated, when you're tired. That's when your real programming shows. Those casual comments, jokes, and complaints are the instructions your mind follows the most. So choose your words carefully. Your words don't stay words. They become thoughts. Those thoughts become actions, and those actions quietly turn into your reality.
And while this has long been known by the most successful people of the world, it seems to have escaped the great majority. The secret is to get and hold fast in your mind the mental image of the person you would most like to be. Then in every situation you act and talk as you feel that person would. You make the kind of decisions you think that person would. Day by day, you'll grow into the image you hold in your mind. If you doubt this, try it for 30 days and watch what happens. You've got nothing to lose. The time is going to pass anyway. Why not put it to work, becoming the person you most want to become?
Your ear is a womb, your tongue is a wand, and your heart is a magnet. The things you listen to on repeat get planted into your subconscious, and they grow, and eventually they're born into your reality, just like a womb. The words you speak aren't just sounds, they're spells, each one casting reality into form, just like a wand. And your emotions pulse out a frequency, attracting more of the same into your world, just like a magnet. You are a walking miracle machine. Every sense is a portal, every word a spell, every feeling a frequency. Use your power wisely. Click the link.
Is whenever you think of something that you really desire, imagine that you have it already. Imagine that you have it already. It sounds like a game, like children would play, but it is so powerful that it is awe-inspiring, and all I suggest you do is try it for a little while. Just imagine, close your eyes, drive it along, think about it if necessary, stand, relax, do whatever you want, but just imagine that you've already accomplished it and try to get the feeling. Get the feeling. As though it were already a success, as though it were a past tense, as though it were already accomplished, that you don't have to worry about it again. You've already got the feeling. And if you will play that feeling over and over again, this law of reversibility will create this feeling. As you dwell upon the feeling more and more, the feeling will actually begin to change things inside you and outside of you, draw you toward your goal and draw your goal toward you, and the objective will come into reality exactly at the right time and place.
Your reality is built from what you take in every day, not what you think once. What you repeatedly see, hear, and allow around you. Your subconscious mind has no filter. It takes in whatever you expose it to. Then it uses that information to shape your thoughts.
And in order to manifest something, you have to be uncomfortable with your current position. There has to be something that is driving you to change, or driving you to manifest something that you don't currently have. You can't wish, because wishful thinking doesn't relate to anything. You can't want something, because that's putting out the feeling of lack. And wanting means the universe is going to give you situations, events, conditions, circumstances and people so that you're always wanting, never having. You have to need it. You have to need something. That is a burn. That need comes because of pain. And when you need something, you can't live in need because then you'll never get it, because then the universe will always make sure you're feeling it. Need. But when you need something, that's when you can go and experience contrast. In other words, you know what you don't want, clearly, and it's giving you a burn, a feeling of pain. So now you need to change. You need something different. That's when you can clearly define what you do want. And then you focus on what you want. You see yourself in possession of it. And then you feel now as if you were actually in attainment of it. Then you release attachment to that outcome by saying, and it's okay if it never happens, while still maintaining that feeling as if you did actually have it. That's when the windows of heaven open and stuff starts coming in. You're broadcasting on a theta brainwave. If your hippocampus is big enough and you've learned how to broadcast on theta, instead of broadcasting on the slave wave or the poverty wave of beta coming out of your brain.
Your lips are actually a magnet. Every word you speak pulls energy into your life. Every time you speak, you're sending out a frequency and pulling matching experiences back to you. Speak fear, and fear finds you. Speak love, and love moves closer. Your words are magnets, shaping your world. Most people don't realize they're attracting their struggles with their own voice. Every complaint, every doubt, every careless word strengthens the wrong reality. But when you speak with power, when you speak as if what you desire is already yours, you magnetize it into your life. Guard your lips. Speak only the words you want to live, because what you say, you summon. Remember, your lips are actually a magnet. Use them wisely and watch your world transform.
Wealthy people broadcast what they want, their desires in life, their goals, on the wealth wave, on the billionaire brainwave. If you do that, that's the secret to manifesting.
Nothing in your life can permanently change until you change the way you see yourself. You can't consistently act in a way that's out of alignment with your self-image. That's why real change never starts with effort. It starts with identity. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, you'll find proof of that everywhere. If you see yourself as someone capable and confident, you'll naturally behave in ways that confirm it. Your subconscious mind always works to make your reality match your self-concept. It listens not to what you say, but to what you believe about yourself when you're quiet. That's why lasting transformation doesn't come from forcing new habits. It comes from deciding, this is who I am now. When you choose a new identity, your behavior follows. Opportunities appear. People treat you differently, and success starts to feel normal. Because the world doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to who you've decided to become.
The only thing you need to know to understand the deepest metaphysical secrets is this: that for every outside there is an inside, and for every inside there is an outside. And although they are different, they go together.
You can only attract according to the frequency that you're operating on. Attraction is a secondary law. The primary law is the law of vibration. That's a primary law of the universe. The law of vibration decrees everything moves, nothing rests. Well, when you think, you put you onto a frequency. You can only attract what's on that frequency. You think about a person a lot, just concentrate on that person will phone you, or you'll bump into them on the street. The law of attraction takes over. You can attract to you what you're in harmony with. But when you set goals, you got to see yourself already there. That's called a mindset. They set their mind on the frequency that they have to be in to attract what they have to attract. And that's how the goal moves into form. The only problem is you don't have it on a physical plane yet, but it will manifest in time.
The perfect man employs his mind as a mirror. It grasps nothing, it refuses nothing. It receives but does not keep. And another poem says of wild geese flying over a lake. The wild geese do not intend to cast their reflection, and the water has no mind to retain their image. But to have no hang-up, that is to say, to be able to drift like a cloud and flow like water. Seeing that all life is a magnificent illusion, a playing of energy, and there is absolutely nothing fundamentally to be afraid of.
Every morning when you wake up, visualize and feel exactly what it is that you want in life. You don't have to worry about how it happens. You just have to focus all of your energy on feeling as if it already happened. And if you can do that, then the right circumstances, the right people, the right opportunities will show up to get you the vision that you have for your life. Because in truth, it really isn't the universe. It is you in verse. In other words, it's everything that you think and feel inside of yourself about life is what you are calling in to your reality. You're the one creating your reality.
You know why most people never manifest what they want? Because they're waiting, as if the universe owes them something just for wanting it. But the universe doesn't respond to waiting. It responds to movement. You see, manifestation is a dance, and it takes two to tango. The moment you begin, the universe begins with you, not before. You are the catalyst, the initiator, the one who must step into the unknown first. No one is coming to save you, because you were never meant to be saved. You were meant to awaken. So make the move, and watch how reality bends to meet your stride.
The universe only gives us what we think we're worthy of receiving. So then people who show up for themselves every day, they start feeling pretty damn worthy. Like, they're like, I'm worthy for this. Not like an entitlement way, like something. They just like, I feel like it's gonna happen. I'm worthy for it.
You're not ready for what you want until you believe you can get it. All things are possible if you believe.
And you get it when you believe it. You get it when you believe you have it. And that's the key. It's like people still, they sit around going, when's it going to come? 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 And that's the wrong way. You have to go. It's here. It's here.
Before you go to sleep every night, visualize yourself being, doing, and having the good which you desire. And whatever idea you lift up before you go to sleep, that idea is impressed upon the subconscious and it draws that to you. You'll wake up in the morning and the right ideas will just be clicking in your head. You'll meet the right people for the right purposes at the right time. You'll meet strangers, but they'll be right for your right purpose. People will do things for you and they won't even know why. Always visualize just before going to sleep. That's the one most important time, if there is a one most important time.
Every time you say, I am not, I cannot, I have not, you are, whether knowingly or unknowingly, throttling that great presence within you. Every single time that you use the words, I am, you are citing the name of God. You must be conscious of how you use these words. I am strong. I am well. I am content. Putting the words I am in front of something into your mind and imagination is a very powerful way to attract into your life.
Gratitude is one of the most strongest forms of power in attracting good things. You know, if you truly feel grateful for the things in your life, I always felt grateful for even the small things. I always used to celebrate the small things. Now I might be celebrating the bigger things, but I always celebrate every little good thing that would happen to me in my life. Even before I had any kind of money or any of that, I would celebrate and I would feel grateful for it, and it just gave me more.
The law of attraction says this. It says that whatever you think about, focus on, fantasize about, worry about, talk about, attend to, watch on TV, listen to on the radio, you're going to create more of in your life, especially those things you feel intense feelings about. So when you're talking about how bad it is and you're not feeling good about it and you're really upset about it and you're down in the bar, you know, talking about how terrible life is, what I call the Ain't It Awful Club. You know, people go there after work to the Ain't It Awful Club and complain about how miserable their life is. And when you do that, what happens is you actually create more of that because you're sending out a vibration. And that vibration is your thoughts and your feelings that are the result of those thoughts. And so we have to become conscious of our thoughts. We have to become conscious of our feelings. We have to become deliberate thinkers, deliberate creators.
Your energy teaches the world how to treat you. If you carry doubt, you'll attract people who make you question yourself. If you walk in confidence, you'll attract people who respect you without reason. Life mirrors the signal you send. It doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you truly believe you deserve. That's why change never starts outside of you. It begins with a quiet decision to raise your standard for what you'll accept. The moment you decide you're done chasing, life starts meeting you halfway. The moment you decide you're worthy, everything around you begins to shift. Because you never get what you're asking for. You get what you're ready for.
God is showing you a preview of a coming attraction He has for you. And He puts it in your imagination. The problem with your imagination, though, is you tell it to the wrong people. That's the whole problem. See, if you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person. How many times has God showed you something so vividly clear that you just knew it was perfect? You shared it with your loved ones and your friends and they shot it down. You know why they shot it down? Because they couldn't see it. You know why they couldn't see it? Because God didn't show it to them. He showed it to you.
Here's something most people never realize. Your life is always moving in the direction of your dominant thoughts. What you think about most of the time is exactly what you're training your mind to create. If you focus on problems, you'll attract more of them. If you focus on solutions, you'll start seeing opportunities that were invisible before. Your mind doesn't care what you feed it. It simply accepts repetition as truth. And here's the key. The more often you think a thought, the easier it becomes to believe it. Your brain starts wiring new patterns, and soon those thoughts don't feel like effort. They feel like identity. That's how change truly sticks. That's why successful people are deliberate about what they think. They build mental pictures of success. They speak about their goals, and they act as if those results are already on their way. It's not magic, it's focus. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all aligned with one clear vision, your behavior becomes automatic. You stop chasing success and start moving in sync with it.
I like myself. I like myself. I like myself. The more you say, I like myself, I like myself, I like myself, the more you repeat that over and over again, the more your self-esteem goes up. The more your self-esteem goes up, the more your overall self-concept goes up. When your overall self-concept goes up, you perform better at everything else that you attempt. But every single time you say, I like myself, 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 it's like pumping yourself up psychologically. Everything that happens that causes your self-esteem to go up causes you to perform better. Everything that happens that causes your self-esteem to go down causes you to perform worse, make more mistakes, be unhappier, and so on. Now, a critical point about liking yourself, about self-esteem and self-liking, is that number one is you can never like or love anybody else more than you like or love yourself. That your level of self-esteem is the determinant of the quality of the relationships you have with others. And number two is you can never expect anybody else to like or respect you more than you like or respect yourself. But how much you like and respect yourself determines their attitudes toward you. Every single school of psychology today is coming to agreement on the fact that how much you genuinely like and accept yourself as a valuable and worthwhile human being has an effect on everything that happens to you. Everything that happens in your life is a reflection of what's happening inside you. The people you meet, the opportunities you get, even the problems you face are mirrors showing you what you believe. If you think you're unlucky, you'll keep finding proof that you are. If you think you're chosen, life will start treating you that way. Your outer world doesn't argue with you. It simply agrees with your inner story. So if you want to change your reality, don't fight the world out there. Rewrite the one in here. Think better thoughts, feel better feelings, and hold them like you already lived that life. Because the moment you stop trying to force change and instead become the person who already has it, the world quietly shifts to match you.
What if I told you that the harder you try to manifest your desires, the further they slip from your grasp? What if the very act of trying is the reason your dreams remain out of reach? You see, the universe doesn't respond to your effort. It responds to your state of being.
When you detach, you don't lose control. You gain freedom.
Let go of control.
That's when life
starts to flow.
The law of detachment. When
When you detach from everything, you attract everything. When you don't need any external energy to complete you, everything becomes inherently attracted to you. When you don't need anything, you gain everything. The best things in life come to you when you aren't searching for them.
What's your thoughts that become your words? What's your words that become your actions? What's your actions that produce your future? The secret of letting go is knowing that life will give you something better than whatever it asks you to give up. That's the secret of letting go. It is the secret of being fearless. It is the secret of being at peace with yourself. Because when we realize that life is one whole beautiful movement that cannot contradict itself with anything that it does within itself, and that we as human beings have the ground of that very life.
A crucial aspect of manifesting your desires is detachment. Have you ever struggled with letting go and trusting the process? Let's clarify what detachment means in the context of manifestation. Detachment is not about giving up on your desires or becoming indifferent to them. Instead, it's about releasing the anxiety, obsession, and constant focus on whether or not your desire will manifest. Think of detachment as a peaceful state of trust, where you know that your desire is already yours, and you no longer feel the need to control or force its manifestation. This trust allows the universe to work its magic. A powerful concept is living in the end. This means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, as though it has already happened.
And here's the paradox. To get what you want, you must stop chasing it. It doesn't hear your words or your pleas. It feels your energy. When you try, when you push, you're signaling one thing: I don't have it. And so the universe echoes that back. More wanting, more longing, more lack, loss and limitation. But when you shift your state of being, when you act, feel and live as though what you desire is already yours, the universe adjusts. It matches you with what it mirrors, the energy that you embody. Think about this. Have you ever noticed that some people seem to effortlessly attract love, abundance and success? It's not luck at all. They've mastered the art of being. They don't wait to feel abundant. They radiate abundance. They don't search for love. They are love. So here's the secret. Stop grasping at what you want. Let go of the need for control and simply align with it. When you embrace gratitude for what you already have, when you feel as though your desires are already fulfilled, the universe responds. Not because you forced it, but because you finally became it. The only thing standing between you and your desires, it's not the universe, it's you. Stop trying, start being. Everything I ever wanted, I will get, because I believe in myself and I trust in my process. You see, some people call it luck, but I call it the will to never give up. It may not happen right now, but you best believe it will happen later. Key to success was to set a goal and then to stay with it until you achieve success in at least one important thing that your subconscious mind will then accept that success experience and then store it like a pattern or a template. And then from then on, your subconscious will drive you, direct you and guide you to repeat the pattern of success in other things that you attempt. However, the law of detachment says that while you must stay committed to the process, you must not cling to how or when the success will arrive. When you detach from the outcome, you will allow your subconscious mind and the universe to work together more freely without resistance or pressure. Another way of saying it is that nothing succeeds like success. Psychologists have demonstrated that achievement brings you a natural high. Once you've experienced your first great success, not only are you unconsciously programmed to repeat it, but nothing else will ever give you the same wonderful sense of satisfaction. When you balance this drive for achievement with detachment, you create a powerful flow. You act with purpose but without desperation. You trust that your efforts will bear fruit, and that trust keeps your mind calm, focused, and creative. In this way, the law of detachment doesn't weaken your desire, it strengthens your belief that success is inevitable while freeing you from the anxiety of trying to control every small detail.
The law of detachment will literally help cure your anxiety. Anxiety is this feeling you get that you think something's going to happen. You feel that this threat's coming, that you're in danger, and it kicks in that fear, which is anxiety, and you're thinking about something that hasn't even happened yet. With the law of detachment, you understand to relinquish your attachment to an expected outcome. Everybody has a set outcome in their head. You know, when they start doing something, they want X to happen. That doesn't mean give up the intention on it. That just means give up the desired outcome in your head. Do it because you want to do it. You know, when you don't expect anything, everything you get in life is a gift. And that is precisely what the law of detachment is. Always expect nothing, because often it's your own expectations that are holding you back from your desires and from getting something. But if you just do and don't expect, then everything is a gift. Don't let your expectations define who you are. Don't get so strung up on a certain desire and expectation, and that takes away from actually doing whatever that is. You know, oftentimes I find that most people's desires aren't even their own true desires. They're desires that were put on them from society and the way they grew up and the world that they live in now and the world that they surround themselves with. But once you're able to detach from that and just do things for you, then you just start to live with enjoyment and you like doing everything. You don't care because you're doing it for you. If you love drawing but you suck at drawing, who cares? You're not doing it for an outcome. You're doing it because you like to do it. If you love singing but you're not the best singer, you do it because you like it. Nobody's gonna hear you. You just do it because you like it. And the more you attach yourself to an outcome when you're doing something, the more you're a victim to that. So when that doesn't happen, right, if you're expecting something, you don't get it, then you start to feel that you're not worthy and that you can't do it. Same thing with people. Don't expect anything from people, because when you expect something from someone and they don't give you that and you don't get that expectation, you start to resent them. You start to dislike them, you know? And that's the worst thing. That's what I find most often with people. It's almost like their ego getting in the way because somebody's not that ideal person for them. So they walk away. You know, and often the way we see the world is how you are inside. So think about that.
I was too focused on I need to have this, I need to have fun, I need to succeed, I need to grow, I need to be bigger and bigger. I was chasing so many things at once. And I didn't even realize how much that pressure was controlling me. That one day, I just let go. I stopped wanting so much. Whatever's meant to happen, will happen. And the moment I did that, everything started falling into place. The things I was chasing started finding me, and it happened fast. That kind of belief is not naive, it's power in the purest form. Because once you truly believe it's already yours, you stop chasing. You stop negotiating with fear. Belief is the ultimate filter. It deletes the distractions. It silences the noise. It makes the how irrelevant and keeps you locked in on the why. Most people are anxious because they keep opening the door to anxiety, opening the door to thoughts that don't match the life they're building. But when your belief is sharp, everything else fades away. You move different. You speak with less doubt. You stop performing and start becoming. And that's when manifestation kicks in. Not when you write it down once, not when you talk about it, but when the belief is so strong, it makes anything else feel laughable. You don't need the perfect plan, you just need conviction. That kind that can walk through the fog, like it's already seen the view. Make the belief louder than the fear, and let the magic meet you in motion as the stuff of our soul. And you tell me, why is it that when things come along that we don't want, and the answer is simple, because we think life has come to take something away from us. And on one hand, it has, but it never takes that if it doesn't give us something better.
The moment you let go is the moment things begin to move. In manifestation, detachment isn't giving up. It's stepping out of the way. When you obsess, overthink, or force an outcome, you signal lack. You're saying, I don't have it yet, and that becomes your energetic broadcast. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you trust. You've set your intention, aligned your energy, and now you release the need to control the how or when. That openness creates space for the universe to respond. The more you let go, the more flow you allow. It's in that surrender that things unfold faster, smoother, and often in ways you didn't expect. Desire is the spark, belief is the fuel, but detachment, that's the doorway. When you let go, you let it in.
You care too much about life, and that's why you're failing. You have to detach. You literally can't care at all about anything, ever. Because what you're saying to yourself when you care a lot, when you worry, that you're in a state of lack. If you have something, if you have everything you ever want, why would you ever care about having it? You can't care about money, you can't care about success. It's a massive, massive important principle. The second you stop caring, the second you receive. The moment you stop needing anything is the moment everything starts chasing you. They are desperate for success, for validation, and that's what pushes them all away. If you want to become successful and you want to achieve these things, you need to be detached from them. You need to be almost flowing. So these things just naturally come to you. They naturally attract to you. When you are needy, when you are chasing, when you're doing everything you can to achieve something, it almost pushes it away. It almost runs from you. When we really, really want something, we put it on a pedestal and we energetically separate ourselves from it. If something's really, really important, it's not equal to your identity. So there are balancing forces that come into our reality to literally block that thing from coming into your life. But it's also with this notion that that thing over there is going to make us happy on the inside. So the balancing forces of the universe can't help but keep it from you. Because it's like you haven't learned the lesson. It's like you have a dog and you're chasing a dog. What does the dog do? It just runs away, playing the game. It's playing off that energy dynamic. They are creating all this resistance, and that resistance actually blocks what you want.
You take your phone, you're tossing it up like this, you can do this all day long, right? You're not worried about dropping it. But you take this phone and you put it over a 5-story balcony, and doing that makes your heart rate go up. You sweat, and you might actually drop your phone. The thing that you don't want to happen because you're overthinking it happens. Your life works the same way. By you trying to control outcomes and over-prepare and over-plan and what's gonna go wrong, that becomes your self-fulfilling prophecy. This is my one interview and my one shot. Okay, I can't mess this up. Again, you're gonna be robotic and stiff. Thank you, we've seen enough. We'll contact you if we're moving forward. And no judgment, we all do this. When we over-attach to things, our results are worse, not better. The solution is to ease up, is to act more. Plan less, act more. If you're thinking too much, you're not acting enough.
You create your future by envisioning it. People that are successful are often called visionaries. And the reason is they close their eyes and they see the future. By visualizing your goals as already accomplished, by seeing it nothing but net every time, the body starts to respond and adjust itself to create the result. When you visualize what it is that you want, it opens up your perceptual filter to let in more information. Right now, you're not aware of what you're feeling in your right foot, but as soon as I say it, you can feel it. It's getting filtered out by a part of the brain called the reticular system. You are filtering out resources and solutions to your problems all day long, and the only reason you're filtering them out is because you've had an image in your head that you are going to solve those problems and get those results. It programs this part of the brain. You will only see enough to match your vision. If you think you're a 100,000 euro a year person, you're going to see just enough to make you 100,000 euros a year. Belief is a skill. Belief requires so much development. It's hard to believe things you can't see. It's hard to believe when you're skinny or overweight that you can have a six-pack or a crazy physique. It's hard when you're poor to believe that one day you can be rich. It's hard to believe when your mother is working a 9-to-5 or 2 jobs that you can actually retire her in a couple of years. But if you can sit there and have a conversation with yourself and believe that all things are possible, that everything is possible, because like I said, it all starts in the mind. The mind is like the steering wheel of your life, and if you can't take control of your mind, someone else will control it for you.
Now let me make one point here that's absolutely critical. It is simply this, is that if you scratch with the turkeys, you can't fly with the eagles. That if you spend time with losers, you will be a loser yourself. That David McClelland of Harvard found that 99% of the failure rate in life could be attributed to associating with people who were going nowhere. Because we're so strongly influenced by the people around us. We talk like them, we walk like them, we take on their attitudes, their values, their beliefs, their expectations, even their self-concepts. If we associate with negative people, critical people, cynical people, lazy people, people who waste their time, we will become exactly like them. Every one of us has the tendency to be like a chameleon. We take on the colorings and the behaviors of the people around us. So it's very important that you make a decision what you want to be like, and you begin to associate with people who are like that. And especially get away from the losers. Get away from the no-hopers. Get away from the negative people, because these people will drag you down as surely as an anchor would drag you down if it was tied to your leg.
If you're someone who constantly thinks about their dream life, who knows that it's meant to happen, you see it day and night in your mind, in your visions, in your thoughts, why are you constantly stressed out about the idea of it happening? When you're constantly stressing out over the outcome of something, the world will recognize that and see that you're not confident in the outcome happening, in the ability of the outcome happening. It's like in school when you took an exam and you cared about the outcome and the results of your score, and you constantly thought about it. And when you got it back, it was a flunk. But then again, when we took exams, and we disregarded the outcome of it, and you passed. We got it back and we passed. That's because the universe is always listening. It knows when you're confident about an outcome. It knows when you're worthy of something. And when you're constantly stressed out over the outcome of your own life, the world is going to recognize that and see that you're not ready for it. You need to use the law of detachment to detach from the outcome of certain things happening in your life, and certain things happening in your life, to detach from the outcome of certain things in life. If you knew you were meant to live a great life, if you knew you were meant to live a great life, a successful life, detach from the outcome of it, and that builds that life, and work on the skill that builds that life. You have to believe it's possible, because you can create your reality, the perception that you have of the world. If you think there's only scarcity, there's no opportunities, that's how you're going to interact with reality. But if you think there's abundance, if you think there's opportunities, then these things will manifest themselves to you. So you have to believe that you can do it. When you're so detached to a point that you know that you and your higher self has the best place in you, you can sit back, you can completely enjoy every beautiful moment, where you can detach to the point that you are always present and you are trusting in each and every moment to be exactly what it needs to be. That, in my opinion, is when you will find the greatest joy. The quickest way I can put it, applying the law of detachment and really going for your goal without being attached to it. It's about the clarity of your mind. When you are attached to something, it's easier for you to be the quickest way I can put it, applying the law of detachment and really going for your goal without being attached to it. It's about the clarity of your mind. When you are attached to something, it's easier for you to be triggered emotionally. It's easier for you to be irritated. It is easier for it to build up and bother you, and for you to be frustrated with not achieving the result in something you don't think as emotionally. It's easy for you to think constructively, to think objectively. It is easy for you to take your ego out of the conversation and say, what is the true way to achieve this goal by any means necessary? Not my way, but the way. And how can the way to achieve it contribute to my way, my story, and how I'm going to go about achieving what I want out of life? But before you can reach anything, you have to believe it can happen. You don't just mistakenly become great at something. You have to believe that you already have whatever it is that you want. And the reason you have to believe that you already have it is because the subconscious mind is only operating in the present. It's just like a program. If you say, my new car is coming, I'm going to get a new car, it's coming. Well, then it's always going to be coming. You have to go and test drive the car. You've got to feel the car, you have to smell the car, then visualize being in that car. If you do that enough, that's how you will come to believe you actually have the car. And the moment that you believe, manifestation is instantaneous. Detach myself from the outcome. A lot of you out there are doing a lot of things right, and you're still not seeing the success you think you should be seeing. The problem may not be your system or your habits. You might be doing all the right things. The problem might be your expectation or your idea of what it should look like. This rule applies to anything, fitness, business, anything that takes a long time to succeed in. Instead of focusing on what am I doing wrong that's not creating the results I want, ask yourself, am I assigning to myself unrealistic or a downright inaccurate timeline for what success should manifest into? Detach yourself from the outcome and do the behaviors that you know you're supposed to be doing. The natural byproduct will be the outcome that you seek. It may not come when you decide it should, but it will happen. One of my favorite quotes says, "The man who loves walking will always walk further than the man who loves the destination." Keep that in mind as you pursue your goals. If you fall in love with the process, if you fall in love with getting better, you will get there. But if you fall in love with what's at the end, you will probably quit. You have to absolutely believe you can. And that belief will make the world move out of your way like a small drop of water on a rock. Eventually, there will be a river. Keep believing that you can. From that belief comes all of the skills. Remember, failure is feedback. Speaking, sales, how to build a business, all of that comes through persistence. You stay persistent, you gain skills, and then you gain knowledge. But it all starts with that one thing, persistence. Visualize it, but also feel it. Close your eyes, smile to yourself, and feel yourself there. And believe me when I say, you can manifest it. I know you think I'm crazy. I'm telling you, it's the joke in life. I know you think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, you can't go to places physically till you get there emotionally.
Many people come to me and say, well, I'm working for a negative boss, or I'm in a negative relationship. And I say this, if you're working for a negative boss, you'll never realize your potential working for that boss. You'll never be happy, and you'll never accomplish everything you're capable of accomplishing. They say, well, if I'm in a negative relationship, what do I do? I say, you have to ask yourself this question. Do you want to fulfill your potential as a human being or not? If you want to fulfill your potential as a human being, here's the facts. I'm not making the facts up, I'm just telling you, here's the facts. But if you associate with losers, you'll be a loser. And it's been worked out for 25 years, and they can't find any exceptions to it. And I've spoken to thousands of people who've told me that coming to terms with this is one of the hardest things that they ever did. Because sometimes it means that you have to say goodbye to family, say goodbye to friends, say goodbye to relatives, say goodbye to relationships. The sooner you do it, the better.
Visualization is used by everyone. From Lewis Hamilton, driving his car around the track, to David Beckham before he takes a free kick. Visualization is the art of sitting in one place. Close your eyes and visualizing. What's the track going to look like? What's that turn going to feel like? How that ball is going to move? It's visualizing the process, not the result. And that's what's fascinating. Western society has made it all about visualizing the result. Visualize yourself at the top of the podium, in the goal. But the smartest people in the world are visualizing the process and the work and the journey. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you can see the vision of what you want in your head, the chance of holding it in your hand is exponentially higher, because you can't physically hold it in your hand before you actually see it in the mind. How is it going to feel when your dreams become a reality? Whatever it is, governor, congressman, senator, the yacht, the boat, the trips, the travel, the accolades, the respect, the comment from your mom, the comment from your dad, your teacher, your professor, your enemy, your competitor. How is it going to feel in that moment? If you convince yourself that that feeling is amazing, then you will be willing to pay the price that the man needed for your big dreams to become a reality. Vision. Vision is going to direct your life if you let it. Use it constructively. See what you want. Don't spend any time on thinking what you don't want. When you get a picture in here, make it big, make it beautiful. You'll be glad you did. The most important thing that you can have is that you have a vision, that you have a goal. Because without that vision and without that goal, you're just drifting around and you're never going to end up anywhere. People don't just become successful by accident. Your life will become peaceful when you quit trying to control every single outcome that happens. This ties in the law of detachment. Quit focusing on what you could get and focus on what you could give. Many people are focused on the output. What am I going to get from this? When am I going to get it? How much am I going to get? And they're not focused on the input. How much work can I put in today? How can I show up for myself today? That's when the peace really begins. You're not anxious about the future. That's what anxiety is. You are sitting there freaking out about a possibility that could happen. And 9.9 times out of 10, that possibility never actually happens. But you are up in your head, focus on the outcome so hard that your brain starts to play against you. If you just make a plan, whatever it is, make a plan to the best of your ability and execute on that plan every single day. That's what I mean when I say input. When you have a plan for a goal and you know exactly what to do, just do the input. Do exactly what you know you must do. And eventually, the outcome will happen. You don't know exactly what the result is, but that takes away the stress and anxiety because you don't know how to control your brain. Detachment goes something like this. Everything you want, every desire that you have is already done. You have every single thing you need. So knowing that, enjoy this day. Enjoy every simple thing you can. The blue sky, the sun, this beautiful place, every single thing that's in your life. The phone that you're holding, that you're watching this on. Be grateful you have it. Be grateful you have access to clean water. Find joy in every single moment in life. Detach yourself from the things that hold you back, from worry, from fear, and from the false importance we often give to external situations. We're going to dive deep into why. The only real issue you will ever face is your own mortality and how everything else pales in comparison. You will see life in a different light, and the unnecessary burden of constant worry will begin to lift. Detachment doesn't mean not caring at all, or living life without emotion. It's not about becoming indifferent to the world. Detachment is the conscious decision to remove your emotional investment in things that you can't control. When I first moved into this apartment, I looked at these 4 walls to be the place I would heal and I would take control over my life again. And therefore I put attachment into achieving certain things. I would expect certain outcomes. And ultimately I ran myself further and further into the ground. I'm struggling to let go of the idea that someone betrayed me. Struggling to let go that comes with running my own business and the pressure that I put on myself. But what I'm realizing is the thing that might change my life isn't working hard or having more discipline or manifesting more. It is actually being able to let go everything that controls my energy, because you can't control everything. If someone wants to leave, let them, because you are never anyone else's. You are your own. You have everything you need right here to be happy in this present moment. Allow yourself to be who you are. Remember, uncertainty is reality and solutions will always emerge. So never change who you are. When you're desperate, I want money, I want success, I want growth. You're trying your best to get there, but it won't come to you. You need to practice the law of detachment. Once you know what the law of detachment is and you put it into play, that's when success will naturally come to you. No more great decisions in your life. It serves the man or woman that you want to become, the business you want, the father you want to be, or the wife you want to be, the mom you want to be, the leader you want to be. Your actions either serve towards the person you want to be or away from the person you want to be. If you get rid of, well, maybe, kind of, surfing on my phone a little bit, binging on Netflix a little bit, or hanging out with negative people for a little bit, if you want to go to the next level, it either takes you towards the person you want to be or away from the person you want to be. Everything else is a no. I think being attached to things, The outcomes is the root of all suffering. You shouldn't care about the outcome. Just focus entirely on the input and the work you're putting in. You don't have control over the outcome. Detaching from the outcome and just focusing, putting your best foot forward and creating the best work possible. If you do that for long enough, there's no chance that you won't succeed. If you build a beautiful garden, butterflies will fly to you. But if you're trying to chase the butterflies, they will all fly away from you. So you need to focus on building yourself, building your interior. Get detached from the exterior results and instead get attached to your interior, to what you're building. Get attached to your purpose. If you think it's impossible for you, it is, because you believe in your heart that for you it is impossible. You've set that limitation in your mind. If you think with an "I can't do it" attitude, guess what? You're right.